Okay, let's dive right in. We're going to explore one of the biggest financial stories happening right now, why Wall Street and some of the wealthiest people in the world are quietly, but very deliberately, moving into Bitcoin. So here's the central puzzle, the thing that's so fascinating. For the better part of a decade, the big financial institutions pretty much dismissed Bitcoin. You heard it all the time. It's a bubble, it's a fraud, it's not real. But behind the curtain, something completely different was happening, a total reversal. Those same institutions are now pouring billions of dollars into it.
And that has to make you wonder, right? What changed? What information do they have, or what strategy are they seeing that caused such a massive U-turn? Well, that is exactly what we are going to break down right now.
So the first piece of this puzzle is figuring out who is doing the buying now. Because you see, we're in the middle of a huge shift in who the major players in this market actually are.
The old story, the one you're probably familiar with, was all about early tech adopters and individual traders. But honestly, that narrative is way out of date. A totally different kind of buyer has entered the room now, and they're a lot more calculated and powerful.
I mean, just look at this contrast. It's night and day. We've shifted from a world of retail speculation, individuals making high-risk short-term bets, to an era of what you could call institutional migration. We are talking about corporations, not just people. And they're not day trading. They're making long-term holdings as part of a very deliberate strategy. It's a completely different game.
Okay, so why are they doing it? The first big reason is actually defensive. It's kind of a surprise. They're looking at Bitcoin as a tool to protect the value they already have. Now, to get this, we need to quickly touch on what a Treasury Reserve asset is. It sounds technical, but it's simple. Think of it as a company's main savings account. It's where they park their cash to protect it from losing value over time and to get through tough economic times. Historically, this has meant things like cash, government bonds, or gold. So why in the world is Bitcoin suddenly showing up on this very exclusive list? Well, corporate boards are now seriously looking at it as a potential store of value, almost like a digital version of gold. They see it as a hedge, a protection against traditional currencies losing their buying power. And this is crucial. It has no counterparty risk. Its value doesn't depend on another company or government keeping their promises. And finally, it's just a smart way to diversify what they hold.
And now we get to the main event. This is the core logic, the really clever financial model that's gotten some of the most cautious investors in the world on board. It is called the asymmetric bet.
An asymmetric bet is actually a beautiful, simple idea. It's an investment where your potential profit is many, many times greater than your potential loss. You're basically making a calculated bet where the reward if you're right just blows away the risk if you're wrong.
And here's the absolute key to how they do it. They are not betting the farm. Let me repeat that. They are not putting 50% or even 20% of their money into Bitcoin. No, they are making a very small, very specific allocation. We're talking just 1 to 5% of their total reserves.
This right here is the heart of the strategy. By putting in only that small 1 to 5%, they know exactly what their maximum possible loss is from day one. If Bitcoin for some reason went to zero tomorrow, they would only lose that tiny, survivable slice. But, and this is the important part, if Bitcoin's value goes up significantly, that tiny allocation could have an absolutely huge, positive impact on their entire company's value. So the takeaway here is this. The asymmetric bet isn't about being reckless. It is the exact opposite. It's a highly strategic way to get a taste of an asset with explosive growth potential, while at the same time making sure the company's financial foundation is totally secure.
And that brings us to the final piece of this puzzle, how all of this fits into the bigger picture of the entire global financial system.
I think this metaphor is just perfect for what's happening. Wall Street doesn't see Bitcoin as an axe coming to chop down the old tree of traditional finance. Not at all. They see it as a new, innovative branch that can be attached to that old tree, making the whole thing stronger, more resilient, and ready for whatever the future holds. And that is really the ultimate takeaway for us today. This isn't a revolution designed to overthrow the system we have. It's an evolution. The smartest people on Wall Street see Bitcoin as a powerful new tool, and they are carefully and methodically weaving it into their long-term strategies. If this helped you think clearly about why billionaires in Wall Street are accumulating Bitcoin, please like and subscribe. The next video covers what most people still don't see.